Simple questions for 100 people. Welcome to our experiment, the 100 Person Project. I am Bill Carell, and this is my investigation. Simple Questions for 100 People is a research project to gather data from 100 beautiful human beings for the sole purpose to see what actually happens across the interviews. Now, the questions are fixed, and all the interviews will remain consistent, with the variable being the actual participants themselves. It's as if I'm having you, Jillian, come sit on my porch to share your ideas so I can learn about people. We're looking forward to what we're going to discover when we're done. And we're very interested in the people, the process, and your particular story. And so it's time to introduce you. What is your full name?
My full name is Jillian Rose Gagnon.
Rose, R-O-S-E?
Yep, that's correct.
That's lovely and very old school.
Yes, I was actually named after my mom's mother for that.
I can get that. That's probably about the time there were a lot of roses in those days.
Yep.
So what is your favorite nickname that most people don't know?
My favorite nickname, I would say, is Jilly Bean. A lot of people call me that, a lot of my family. I do have an uncle that calls me Jill the Pill. That's a different one. But mostly I just go by Jillian or Jill.
Yep. And are there any that you don't prefer?
When I was little, I had a friend that called me Lanky. I don't really love that one.
Linky?
Lanky, yeah,
Lank.
like tall,
Oh, okay. Good for you.
stretched out.
That's interesting. Speaking of when you were small, when did you first notice what color hair you had?
Yeah, that question, I feel like I really didn't notice my hair until I was definitely older, but I did notice how tall I was compared to everyone else when I was younger. I was always in the back row with like all the boys and playing basketball, that sort of thing.
Uh, we fast forward to today. How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
You are. You are a
Yep.
tall girl. Yes.
Yep.
I noticed that in a couple of your pictures. We are also Facebook friends, and I have noticed that Jiminy Christmas, this woman is stretched, no doubt about it.
Yeah. No, I definitely embrace it now. I think when I was little, it was something that I felt kind of like, I'm different than everyone else and I kind of stuck out. But now it's something I definitely appreciate.
Most really great models are 6 feet tall.
This is true. And I
Yes,
like helping people in grocery stores too.
pulling stuff off the top. Well, I'm 6'4", so I know exactly what you're.
Okay. Yep.
So let me see here. What is your favorite thing to do, Jillian, to intentionally waste time?
I would say right now, my favorite thing to do to kind of get out of doing work is go visit my sister-in-law across the street because my brother actually lives across the street from me.
You always have a good excuse to go see her, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like go over there with any intention usually. It's just to see what she's doing, just kind of kill time, get a change of scenery.
That's a wonderful and appropriate way to waste time. Absolutely. So, what is your favorite movie to watch alone?
This one I had a hard time answering. Um, I feel like I don't really have one that I'm like, I need to watch this alone. Um, but I do really enjoy The Holiday, and that's one that I guess I'll watch by myself or with someone. But it's just a feel good movie that I enjoy.
Which one is that?
The Holiday.
It's just called The Holiday.
Yeah.
I've got to go look that one up. I've probably seen it, but I've forgotten. Yeah,
Yeah. It's on TV a lot.
yeah. A lot of people default to "It's a Wonderful Life" or
Hmm.
"Christmas Story" or one of those kinds of things. But there are a lot of shall we say potentially emotional movies that are available around that time of year. It seems. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. This one I really appreciate all of the design work in the movie itself.
The holiday. I know people at home are listening right now and they're going, Bill, you call yourself a podcaster? You don't know what the holiday is? You moron. So if you were to have an action figure, Jillian, made of you, what superpower would it have? And what would the uniform colors be?
For this one, I think I would love to travel back in time and be able to, see how everyone before me lived, everyone in my family, kind of how my parents grew up. I think that would be cool. So I guess time travel. And I think something with like magenta or purple is coming to mind, and I don't know why.
Um, Pretty good colors. I could actually see you maybe with some gold piping.
Yep. Definitely.
Lovely. Let me see here. So, what did you want to grow up to be when you were 5 years old?
When I was little, I loved playing with baby dolls. That was like my go-to. I had all of the American Girl dolls. I had I think they were called Itsy Bitsy baby dolls or something like that. And I think that I thought it would be cool to be a pediatrician and be able to help kids and babies. Um, but as I got older, I developed a fear for needles and blood and all of that. So that kind of changed.
Somewhere along the way, reality came up, and it just didn't work anymore, huh?
Yeah, it definitely didn't become my number one interest.
I understand the blood thing too.
Yeah.
Having five brothers and sisters, when one of them started bleeding, it was usually up to me as the oldest to do something about it, right?
Okay. Yep.
So I invariably have to run them to the doctor's office to get a fish hook pulled out of my sister's ear, or
Oh my gosh.
some nonsense like that.
Oof.
I could stand any kind of pain for me, but when one of my loved ones was in trouble, boy, I would turn to mush.
Eesh, yeah.
All right, so enough about me. What is your greatest accomplishment?
I would say, as of lately, my greatest accomplishment is starting my own business. I actually have had a pretty rough past year with some health issues. So, starting a business throughout that feels pretty great, and something that I never thought I would be doing during a difficult time.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Not only did you have health issues, it was a declining economy and all sorts of other neat things going on.
Yeah.
Lots of reasons not to start a business. So kudos to you for both the guts and, the stick-to-itiveness.
Thank
Well,
you.
you're welcome. So who is your favorite person to listen to?
Um, I would say I have a couple, and I'm just forgetting the name of it at the top of my head. Brene Brown is definitely one of them. I like to listen to a lot of motivational speakers, especially on Spotify. That's my go-to. Just people that will really, build me up, motivate me to kind of keep pushing on. People that have inspirational stories, um, things like that. I don't really like, I listen to music throughout the day, but a lot of the times I'm listening to podcasts that are going to keep pushing me forward.
Good for you. Always getting a little mind food going, huh?
Yep.
Excellent. So please complete this sentence, Jillian. When I grow up, I'd like to.
When I grow up, I'd like to continually help people throughout my business and just throughout life. That's one of my main goals is to figure out how to best use what I've been given, my talents to help others.
It's kind of interesting. So I know you because we've talked before on a networking standpoint, and you help people organize their lives and their things, right?
Hmm.
And I'm wondering, you obviously are very educated, and you did graduate from college, I believe.
Yes, I went to High Point University in North Carolina.
I remember now that you told us that. It's the COVID thing working on you.
Yep. No
A great
worries.
memory, but it's about as short as a fruit fly,
I know the feeling.
Yeah, yeah. So, what was your degree in?
Interior design.
Interior design. So you are
Yeah.
really putting that to use at a very fundamental level.
Yeah, yeah. So I like to go into people's homes and help them really like take a look at their space and the entirety and see how we can make improvements both in organizing and in furniture, finishes, all of that. It's kind of, all connected.
Yeah. So you are actually doing everything that you'd like to do when you grow up. You're helping
Yeah.
people and giving them support and comfort and just a little bit of confidence, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I can hear you now, and you can say, I know that really is something that's, when you pick it up, you've got great memories and everything. But how many times in the last 10 years have you actually picked it up?
I'm sorry, picked up what?
Whatever the object is that they don't want to throw away, right? Or
Oh,
put into storage or those kinds of things. But I'm sure that you are well trained to take them through that entire process.
yeah, yeah, and every client is different, which I love. Every project is kind of, just a different story, and I love working with people in general, and learning how they live and about their families, and it's very rewarding for a
Yeah.
career.
I definitely hear that in your voice. Every time we talk, I can tell that your attention is typically from the skin out, as opposed to most people being the other direction.
Yes, definitely.
All right. So, what's the most important thing in life to you right now?
I would say that the most important thing in life right now for me is getting my health back. That is something that you just need. I mean, you can't really function without your health. And over this past year, I've realized just how important your health is. And it's kind of taken me down this whole journey of becoming a more healthier person, just noticing what I'm eating more, just being more aware of all of that stuff. And I think it plays a big part in what I'm doing as well, because I want to be able to help people with, mental clarity. And I think it's just all connected.
I definitely get that. And you have to be in pretty good shape over here to help folks over there, right?
Yep. Yeah. So working on getting myself back to 100% so I can help everyone else.
So, just for the information of the house, on a 0 to 100%, where do you think the needle is right now, and how much further do you have to go?
I think I'm pretty close to getting myself back. I think I'm at like 85, 90%. It's just when you've been sick for so long, it's like you just want to get out of it. So,
Completely understand and welcome back.
thanks.
So, what would you like to leave in the world, Jillian, after your life is done?
um, I think I would just like to be remembered as someone that did make an impact on people's lives, because I feel like everything else is tangible, and it's really about the relationships that you form in your life and how you help others. Um, so I think just, being remembered as someone that had really good connections with people, helped people, and, things like that.
Yeah. Hopefully put a smile on people's face if they don't have words, right?
Yep, yep.
I get it. So, we're getting close to the end of our structured questions. And if you go to a baker's shop, you know that usually when you buy a dozen of something, it is really important that they give you extra value, right? So,
Mm,
where I'm coming from, and I've got a baker's dozen question for you.
okay.
What is the thing that most people misunderstand about you, Jillian?
Um, I would say growing up, I've been like a very quiet person, kept to myself a lot, but I think people don't realize that I have such a big heart, and I am like a very silly person, and I can be very outgoing. Um, but I think that, people just see me as kind of just keeping to myself.
Yeah. You're worth getting to know to that point where you can become silly, I bet.
Yep.
All right. Well, that is number 13. That's, as I mentioned, the end of our scripted questions. Do you have any questions for me?
How long did it take you to grow that beard?
Interesting question. And it's funny because I'm looking at memories on Facebook today from 2 years ago
Mhm.
uh, in October. And I started growing it in June of that year at the request of my number two daughter. And
Uh,
she's asked me to grow a beard twice. Once she was 4 and I was 30. And so, of course, I can't turn her down. Back in
yep,
those days, it grew out to about a little bit more than an inch and then stopped. So
yep.
I looked like that for about a year and a half and then shaved it off. And so both of my son-in-laws started growing beards during COVID because I mean, they're doing LinkedIn or whatever you call it, Zoom meetings, what have you. And so I hadn't shaved for about 4 or 5 days, and Becky said, "Well, why don't you grow a beard again, Dad?" And I thought, well, it didn't go so well the last time. I'll give it a shot. Well, 2 weeks later, I went in and I had to kind of shave it back because it was going all over the place, right?
Yep.
So what I noticed was I was shaving, and shaping it every 2 weeks. And so then I said, I looked at my wife and I said, this is nuts. I'm not going to do this every week. I'd rather just not have it. I said, I'm going to let it go for a while and see what happens. Well, by by August, it was down to here, and then September to here, and then November out to here. I've shaved about 3 fingers off the bottom of it twice in the last year,
Oh
but
my gosh.
it's been 2 years. Yes.
Wow. Quite the story.
You know how to get right to the heart of the matter, don't you?
That's awesome.
Anything else or anything you'd like to say?
I just want to thank you for having me on here. It's kind of fun to do something different during the day right now. And I'm excited that I've met you and I look forward to future opportunities.
I appreciate you very, very much. And from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of all the wonderful people that are going to be listening to your marvelous voice, I want to thank you, Jillian Rose Gagnon, for being on my show and making us that much better. Thank you so much. Bye bye
Thank
for
you.
now. God bless.
Okay. Bye bye.
You've been listening to Simple Questions for 100 People, part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can find every episode at exvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcast app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you find podcasts.